Alright, we're back up. We'll pretend we didn't miss anything. Alright, I will scroll up in general chat to find the draft links. Couldn't be true that there's a bunch of menaces typing stuff in chat, but...
Wait, if someone types something, does it scroll you all the way back down?
No, I just mean there's a lot to scroll through.
Okay, because if the answer was yes, I would have.
You would have done it?
Yeah, obviously, 100.
That's how you get timed out too, bucko. Alright, so heading into draft, here we go. Alright, Mason, same deal? You want to give us the old rundown on draft while I get the stats?
Sure. Okay, so they blind picked the Zeri. I think Blake... hold on. I have some insider info on how this draft went.
Trey is Zeri one trick, which I think...
Yeah, and they were supposed to be switching out in game 2, but they didn't. But also, I think Zeri blind is also like kind of not super punishable, so like I don't think it's bad. What else is there? So then, Cylakats blind the Seraphine. This is standard activity. This champion's kind of broken. Yada yada, etc.
Instantly coupled with the Ashe though this time. They hold it for later. Xerath blind though. I don't know. What do you think about the Xerath blind?
Cylakats is a very skilled Xerath, so I don't mind it too much. Oh,
bans. We forgot bans. Renata banned.
Oh yeah. Teemo is just a standard Cylakats ban. Renata is a good champion. Noah plays a lot of
Senna.
What is this champ? Senna as well. And then GP is a standard ban versus Blake. Like I don't think I've ever seen him get this champion.
True.
Much to his dismay.
Blake's a Mumu mid, banned out. Smart. Very good.
True.
/S. I mean, it is unbeaten. He has not lost on a Mumu mid. He has won a game on a Mumu mid, so it's not a meaningless statistic. And then Layla's karma is taken away after she played it 2 games in a row last time, which is good. I mean, you know, drawing bans is always fun, except when it's a champion you want to play. So I would say good for her, but maybe not.
Can I just real quick? No
This is no Okay.
No Yeah, just before it was like the whole thing, whatever.
Okay. That makes sense. Don't remind me, man. Why'd you have to say it? Pain.
Alright, so then Zach gets locked in. I know that is one of Chinny's preferred champions. I'm surprised he didn't lock the Udyr. I know that's another big one. Maybe he just didn't want to play Udyr into Seraphine Xerath. I think that's probably a fair choice. And then Nami's picked up once Layla's Karma is banned away. I think that's a not super surprising pickup, one of her other comfort champions. And then Viego gets locked in for Jonah. I think he probably just likes that matchup into the Zach. He
That's surprising. I'm surprised it's not the red cane here. I don't know. I don't personally like Viego into Zach. This matchup seems very hard. Like it's like okay. Like Viego can theoretically like dodge everything with his E and his W. Like it's not super hard, but it is like very tedious. I'm surprised you took it so willingly into it. But
yeah. Well, red cane would also have been a choice. Malphite and Anivia banned away. I think Anivia is just a good champion. Probably didn't want to deal with that as the Xerath, I'd assume. And then Blake's Malphite getting respected. Love to see it. We got the Banana Rang. Absolutely cursed in this server. They take away Joey's Ornn pick. And...
based.
I'm not sure why Silas gets taken away. If anything, I would have liked to see the Silas picked up for Clawseted Furries.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think like if Silas is because I guess this is a little bit like what is it hindsight, because you could probably see the Seraphine Ashe coming, but it's like not guaranteed, right? But I think like the Silas blend here is unironically okay, because like it's okay into Xerath, and like you could also like technically flex it top.
Silico's been
it was just
spamming
like
Silas, so they ban it. Gotcha. Oh, because it could have
okay.
still been Xerath's support. That makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, that's pretty smart drafting from Cylakats. Then I'd take it all back.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
obviously
I like
Malphite getting
that.
banned after the Silas because they don't have that counter to the Malphite. Okay, that checks out. Checks out.
Okay, makes
Thank you,
sense.
Jonah,
Makes
for
sense.
your help.
Yeah,
Then Ashe locked in to complete the Ashe Seraphine bot lane. Again, this team is putting the Ashe in the carry position, which I do generally think is weaker. I think the Seraphine is the stronger position if your team can play it, as we were talking about last time. And this is the second consecutive game where red side of all sides is able to get the Seraphine Ashe locked in. I guess we locked it in red side
we locked
also.
it in first every time. Like
Yeah.
it was
But
just
we were
bio.
blue, so it's different.
Yeah.
But and then Zach picks up the Orianna into the Xerath. I think he was talking
It's
to
like
me
an
about that. He said
game matchup.
he likes the matchup and it lets him kind of scale out because he can just kind of shield through the Xerath. And when you give yourself the movement
Yeah.
speed, it makes it really easy to just fancy feed around all the abilities.
Yeah, and it synergizes pretty decently with the Zac, right? You put the ball on the Zac, he ease in,
Yep.
you get the 3-man combos
Exactly.
and all the you can get
Also pretty
the
good with
double
Zeri.
grabs and whatnot. Yeah.
Because you
Yeah,
just double
yeah.
ult on there. And then I heard that this Yone pick was insanely last second, and Blake kind of had no clue what the hell he wanted to play. So Blake's draft kingdom seems to be over with this pick, at least from what I've heard behind the scenes. Then they lock in the Cho'Gath into the Yone. I think it's a
Which
decent
seems
pick.
fun.
Yeah, because you can just kind of be tanky enough that he's not able to kill you, and the silence and knockup just makes Yone's life like miserable. And it's
Yeah,
a
I'm
good way to round out
surprised.
your comp because you don't have front line
Yeah.
until you lock in that Cho'Gath.
Okay, I think I know a bit of Joey's like champion pool. It's like more tankier champions. I'm surprised Blake didn't go for like a Camille here. I think Camille kind of slaps into your team comp. Like you can slam the Camille on the ball on the Camille, and then you get like a really sweet engage with the ulti. It also synergizes decently well with Zac. You have a really solid 2v2. You can also just like provide a lot of damage, and no one should be able to match you on the side of red side. But that's knowing that it is a Cho'Gath top, right?
Yeah.
But I think Camille is actually like a fairly decent
No,
blend. I
I
don't think Joey
agree.
plays like any of the really strong punishes into Camille. It could also be a Fiora. We know how Blake feels about Fiora though, so I wouldn't say he'd pick it.
I
But yeah, I
don't
think
think
I've
he'd
seen
pick
enough
Fiora
of his
blind,
Camille.
but
Oh
I don't know.
yeah,
I think Camille's a decent pick. I don't think he's been favoring it too much recently, so I think it's would have been surprising.
I don't understand
Um,
why, but sure,
I
pop off
know
king.
he wanted to play the Malphite, so it being banned kind of messed
Really
up
hurt. Yeah,
his draft. Yeah. All right, I will
it
go
was a smart
here.
draft then.
We can give a quick view at the player highlights. We have past performance. Blake has played a lot of Yone top lane before.
He does pretty well on it, so
Yes, he was
not
6-2
too
going
surprising.
into this game. Joey, Jonah, and Silico all first time their champions in scrims. Honan, actually both these games are from today. And same, Noam only had one game going in to this and was undefeated on it. Trey, Layla, Zach also playing these champions for the first time today. So really just looking here at Blake, has a bit of a reputation on the Yone. Very good win rate. Maybe not the best stat line to go with it, but that could have been caused by this game we're about to watch. We are not entirely sure. All right. Let me see if I can find the other VOD. Please be the right one. I don't know if I record these in order. That's the wrong one. Alrighty. Looks like we are good.
Jonah using the worst Viego skin, by the way. I hate you. Pick a better skin. Thank you. Stop being poor. Thank you.
Lunar Beast. Lunar Beast.
This is objectively the worst Viego skin. If you say otherwise, you're just wrong.
It's
I'm
pretty
sorry.
bad, yeah.
Has chroma, must use. Get better chromas, my friend.
I think the Lunar Beast like skin line, I really like it. I think Viego is definitely one of the misses. Darius and Jarvan and Darius, Jarvan, and Fiora are the ones that I like a lot, but
I agree.
I also think a lot of those champions have much better skins though. So
Yeah, it's sort of like there's a lot of better skins for those champs.
got Dunkamaster Darius, you got everyone's got their own Fiora skin. I think IG is the best, personally.
Agreed.
Nice, nice. Annie's got that new Cafe Cuties one with the gummy bear. Oh, gummy bear, so cool. And then Super Galaxy with the Mecha Tivers. I think those two are both pretty cool. And then, what was the last champion? Jarvan. Yeah, Darkstar.
Yeah.
Do you need anything else?
Pool party. It's pool party.
Oh,
this man said Darkstar. That's the worst Jarvan skin. What?
I like it.
Jarvan that skin is so booty butt cheeks, my friend. What the fuck? My
It's
man
the
said
one I
fuck.
use, man. Let me be happy.
No, I refuse. No happiness for you here, man. Like, what the fuck?
I've been told if you watch mid lane and watch how many dodges there are on Xerath's skill shots, it will make you happy. But it could just be that Silco is focusing the wave instead of the enemy champion. But we will have to see. Trey seems to know the limits of his champion very well, getting a lot of damage down to Noam early on in the game. I think he has like 700 games on Zeri this season or something like that. Pretty ridiculous. I feel like if this game ends up going super late, there's not a team that's necessarily like clearly favored.
Agreed.
I think if we had a different top laner on Clawseted Furries, I would really, really like it. But they kind of just don't have a solid enough front line to really deal with the stuff that
There's
Cylakats have
Zach,
to
but like,
offer. But he's usually like starting off from far away and then engaging. They don't really have someone to kind of like tank up the like Xerath Ashe Seraphine poke. And then obviously if like, you know, you have the Zeri or the Yone or the Zac going in after being poked down, then they're just like dunzo. And then that's reset city for Viego. So
yeah.
But I mean, you can also never underestimate like 3 scaling laners in the Yone, Ori, Zeri, but I think this is really anyone's game from a drafting standpoint. Should just come down to execution. That first Ashe arrow, spotting where Zac is. It looks like he's wrapping up his full clear on the Krugs. Is a bit behind the Viego, but the Viego skipped Krugs to go to Scuttle, so kind of makes sense. I don't know, you're the jungle guy. That's what I said.
Yeah.
There at all.
I mean, wait, did he do the Krugs? Hold on. So Viego did a 6 clear, correct? Am I stupid?
Viego did Scuttle then Krugs.
That makes sense. What the fuck was Zach's
now
clear?
he's invading on the Gromp, which they know.
The Gromp. Yeah, that's a really good invade.
Because they knew he was clearing downwards from the Ashe arrow earlier. Noam almost dies under tower here. Chimmy comes over the wall, is not able to get anything done. Could have gone for something super aggressive and like a dive angle, but I don't think they need to do it. I kind of respect the restraint here, although it's definitely more fun if he had just sent it. But Blake has an entire wave and a half under tower here. Hopefully for him, he'll be able to farm up some of it, but Cho'Gath getting the shove in early allows him to roam and get some vision in the river. This is our first time seeing Joey play for this team. Even though he is one of the starters, he's been sitting out their other 2 games. Interesting to see how his top lane performance will be, considering he's been known as a like deadly jungler
Green.
in scrims. I don't know. Could be one of those things where you see that you're playing well, but it's not enough to get where you want to be. Because Joey does not have any titles under his belt, despite a few very strong teams.
Yeah. Wait, I don't have any titles under my belt either, though, to be fair.
He also only
do I?
played 2 seasons.
But I think I did. There's the VCP. Oh, wait, that one I didn't
Wait,
win. I
didn't
guess it
you
was
win on
50
Jiffy
50,
Diffy?
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I only played 3 games, so.
Yeah. 4? It was 4? Maybe it was 5. I remember we fact checked this at one point, and it was way more.
Yeah. I think it was 5, but I
Yeah.
stopped playing after a while, so. A pause for the disconnect, I'm assuming.
Yeah, probably.
There are 3 pauses, game 1. Okay, thank you for reminding me, Jonah.
Jeez.
So Colossus? What do you mean, so Colossus, bro? What?
Hey, Silica is able to smack these guys around.
Jonah charging
goes
up
for a
the
play, but
stun.
considering that the camera moved, I don't think anyone's going to die. Zerathal comes out. I think he missed everything. Trey goes and gets first blood onto the Ashe in the bot lane. Zach manages to walk out, but Silica flash Qs.
Yeah.
Huge
Go.
And
We like
Shimmy
that.
will likely die here. We could look for
Yeah.
a minions angle, or he's coming. The smite goes down on the Zac blob, and they get the kill. And
Gets the reset. Oh, but the blob
TP
saved him. Let's go.
The TP was from Yone, and it got canceled by Cho'Gath.
Okay,
I
well
just
played.
assumed it was Ori. Now the Ori TV comes down, and Zac will not be able to pick up any of these.
I like Jonah going for the Sunder here. I think Sunder is really good. Since they changed it so that it has more healing. I like it a lot.
Yep, I agree.
There still are games where I would take Kraken, but I just think the health is just too good.
Yeah. Shout out to Jonah for remembering that you can smite Zac blobs. Not everyone knows
True.
you can do that. It's important
True.
matchup knowledge.
Very true.
Blake seems to be doing quite well in this lane. Wonder if he's going to be able to kind of snowball that into a lead that allows him to just destroy Honan, Noam, and Silico. I feel like that should be able to happen, but I'm not sure. Zac hits the shockwave onto Silico, but does not seem to be following it up. The Ashe arrow comes mid and misses everyone that kind of passes through Blake up there on the top side. Viego ult comes down, and Zac is able
Ooh,
to
it
walk
lives on
this
1
out.
HP. Oof.
Trey showing his mastery of Zeri. That was a very nice W while he's eating through the wall, and is able to get another kill onto Honan. He might be able to pick up 2 here, but it looks like he does not try to. Jimmy ends up missing the Q, but is able to keep Silico in the air for a little bit. Does not have any follow-up from Zac, but he might be able to pick
and
up
he
this
lives
kill
on
by
1.
himself.
No.
No, the slingshot cooldown is too high for him to go for this.
Yeah, getting the ulti out. Okay, nothing happens.
Trey goes in, gets charmed, and is able to walk out. That's another kill. He
Gets out,
starts
though.
off 3-0 on one of his most comfortable champions, if not his most comfortable champion. Joey is for sure not forgetting to stack Cho'Gath off of minions because he just did it. Big
Let's go.
plays. Neither top laner has backed all game. They're both sitting on just a D shield. Cho'Gath has not even needed to use his pot because of the natural sustain built into his kit. Blake is sitting on a 86 CS count right now. This game is definitely less of a snooze fest than the last one we just watched was. With the exception
True.
of
A little
top
more
lane.
bloody.
What are they doing? Nothing. Jonah has been making a lot of plays around the map, but it feels like Trey's dominance on his Zeri comfort pick is simply too much for Jonah to be able to make this sway with Silico to have the gold lead in their favor now. Trey hops over the wall, and Noam is just gone here. Kill is given over to the Ori, which is going to help out in that mid lane where a lot of pressure has been handed over. Jonah goes for a dive here. Blake gets knocked up, and it is not going to be enough to secure the kill. They're just taking this harassment here. Jonah could make a play here to Rift Herald, or maybe just pick up the Scuttle Crab. We will have to see what they go for. Drag is also spawning in 15 seconds. Cylakats does have the first dragon, but Clawseted Furries could be able to pick it up with the Zac. Ori is walking up to try and contest this Rift Herald. I don't think she's going to have the power to do it. I don't know if she picked up Vision of the Seraphine and Xerath. They do have that really, really deep control word. Just well placed, but Cylakats making the very standard macro decision to rotate up 4 to secure that Rift Herald before 14 minutes hits. Trading it for the dragon, fairly standard play. We could see a fight after this, but looks like we're just doing a pretty standard objective trade. Nothing too crazy. The Ashero comes out. I think
it
that
does
hit
anything.
Zeri, but I don't think it really matters.
Agreed. Okay. I think Jonah's doing a very good job keeping just outpacing this Zac in general.
I agree.
They've been very active on the map and keeping their CS up at the same time, so well played to him. Cylakats is doing a great job of enabling his plays as well. Like, these two have been partnering up super well. It's very solid mid jungle gameplay from them.
I hard agree on that one. Jonah's been playing really well this season. He is sitting on 2 game MVPs so far, which I believe is more than anyone else.
A bit of a jungle kingdom moment, baby.
Honan is disconnected. We do appreciate the sportsmanship from Trey and Layla there, not going for the kill. They totally could have. Yeah, I feel like most people would have. You take your leads where you can get them. That Seraphine ult was a bit bold, does not get anything. The Nami wave barely misses.
Oh, holding the W.
Trey
Good
is
stun.
not able to dodge the stun. Really well played from Jonah
But is
there.
still able to get out from the ulti.
Might be able to kill the Ash. Playing
but he's looking for the re-engage,
so
looking for the double again.
The flash stun,
good flash stun.
insane
Into the
play.
ulti.
But
he's still
now
nice
he's
because
dead
he
over
gets
the wall.
bubbled under the tower. Oof.
And kill goes over to Layla. The stun comes down. It is not really doing anything. I assume he just used it off cooldown when it came up.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Clean combo from Jonah. Unfortunately, he was under tower, so.
No, that was really nice. I mean, the shutdown's worth it every time.
Yeah.
Blake is able to get out there. His shield bow is burned. He is sitting on a full mythic, whereas Joey is just on Bami's
component tribal, baby.
And a couple other things, yeah.
He needs the Bramble versus Yone though.
Right.
Just
He's
so he
not
can
assembled Bruiser Begun yet fully though.
Yeah, which
Still
is
needs
really
to complete
unfortunate.
the steel caps. Blake making good use of the safety of Yone's lane by just Eing out to get his farm and then just hopping right back as soon as he gets in danger.
I'm also surprised there's no prio on the Udyr for Cylakats. Or not Cylakats, Clawseted Furries. Blake has been gassing this champion up to me. He might just be doing a little bit of gaslight no jutsu on my ass, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I think, from what I've heard, Jimmy and Blake are pretty similar in the sense that they just want to play the champions they want to play. So he could have just been feeling Zac this game.
That's fair.
Which, you know, fair shot. I don't know. I definitely don't feel like I see Xerath and Seraphine and feel like that would be a really fun team to play at Melee Champion and do that has like no dashes.
Zero engage. Yeah. But on the flip side, if you get Force of Nature, you're actually unkillable into that comp. It's really funny.
Yeah, that makes sense. But you also like don't know the full comp when you initially draft it.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. Early picks are difficult. Chimmy's able to hit Jonah here. The immediate counter Seraphine ult comes down. He flashes mid ult, keeps Jonah suspended, and that should be a free pickup for Trey. Zac goes and hits a double ulti, insane shockwave. Oh my god, double kill from Chinny. That was amazing.
Well played. Holy shit.
And Silico is now raining damage down. Silico flashes over, but Trey might be able to just pick this one up. Shimmy gets another kill, so that's 3 kills over to the Zac, and Zac passive goes down. Very unfortunate.
Good start from Clawseted Furries. I like this start a lot. They've been playing the map super aggressively. I think Silico and Jonah have been responding pretty well, but bot side definitely playing a little bit of the weak side here. The Zeri pick is just too strong, man.
Yeah, I feel like you always can make the gamble on giving someone their like crazy one-trick champion. Trey is really making a case for him being, oh my god, really good buffer by Chimmy, able to get out there even though he gets stunned by Jonah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Trey seems to be making a case for him to be one of those players in scrims where you just gotta ban the champion no matter what. I don't think Zeri is in like a crazy strong spot right now, but he is making that champion seem unfair.
Yeah.
We will see how he plays out the rest of the game, but I am definitely terrified of that. Zach gets picked up by the Ashe ulti, and he is just not able to move at all. Trey may be able to get out here, but it looks like the Xerath ulti is just going to bring him down. More gold onto that Xerath is going to be terrifying, especially with Silico's ability to just land skill shots whenever he wants to. And this is the second dragon picked up for Cylakats, and they close in pretty closely on that gold lead. Taking a quick look at the CS, Blake is still up about 30. Jungle's actually gotten a lot more even. Silico's up about 10, and Trey is up about 20. Silico looks to get a turret, is able to get it. I think that is not first turret, but it's close. If Silico survives here, it's a miracle. He's just picked up by Chimmy. That's a 4th kill on the Zac this game. Now both the jungles have equal kill participation.
Yeah. Zac doing a good job to neutralize the early lead Jonah managed to accrue. Oh, the flash in. Oh, the ulti back in, but he doesn't just have enough damage to kill the Ori there. Very
Zac
close.
manages to path away from the Seraphine abilities correctly. No one was very close. They finally discover that ward. That has been there like all game.
Really, actually.
Yeah. Got the little gold sparkles.
Yeah, I mean, I think Exhaust just sort of dicks on Viego, so it's really hard for you to play into both the Zeri and the Exhaust.
Yeah. I don't know. When he has that flash available to him and he's allowed to use it offensively, I think it's really doomed because Zeri can dash, yeah, but if Viego is just like up in your business right away, it's really hard to do anything. But as soon as those spells are down or they get forced to be used defensively, it's pretty hard for Jonah to get in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Blake seems to be losing trades now. That could just be that one specific trade, or it could just be that Cho'Gath is getting quite strong and there's not much he can do about it. Looks like Cho'Gath has backed more recently though. He's sitting on equivalent items, but obviously has a lot less gold overall, so that could be part of it. Blake does have one of those passive farming bounties, so if they do manage to kill him, they'll get 500 gold instead of the usual 300, which could be an incentive to make some plays around the top side of the map. I do appreciate that Blake is willing to just play this lane slow. I know a lot of players in this server tend to want to force fights if they feel like they have a good lane, but Blake is perfectly content to just accumulate this like 30-35 CS lead. Just be happy with that. Blue buff goes to Ori, makes sense. Zac doesn't have a mana bar. Cooldowns could be nice, but I think they are better on Ori, especially with the mana helping her out in addition to the CDR. Or, my bad, ability haste.
Yeah, shaking my head, Dean.
Blake still showing really good restraint, even though Trey is here now. There could be a play here. Not sure how much they're going to get done to a Cho'Gath under tower, though. Seems like Trey and Blake are now swapping places. Blake's going down to pick up the Scuttle Crab in the river. Looks like we got about 5 top here. There could be a Baron angle, or they could just be looking to dive the Cho'Gath or pick up this tower. The Ashe arrow comes down, hits onto Blake, also spots out that they're trying to make a play, so Cho'Gath is just going to back off. Now a fight's breaking out and is not on as good terms that they want. Noam hits an amazing 3-man Seraphine ulti.
The laser gets the slow on the...
everything. Trey ults, but he's like basically dead by the time he gets it off. Chimmy's trying his best to keep people kind of like held together, but Joey falls down, which is
the Ashe is still kiting pretty well.
Yep. And now that is 2 more kills, but Jonah's getting
Jonah's about to pop off on the reset. Ooh,
Oh,
managed to get
that's
two.
two.
The two.
Yone
He gets
comes
three
up.
here. Gets the
Yep.
fucking Yone. He should be able to pick up the Zac blobs too. I'm surprised he's going for the
He
Ori
chooses to
here.
pick up the
Okay,
other
chooses to pick
Zac.
up the Ori instead, which is fair.
Yep. That was an insane play by Jonah.
Super well played. Oh, it doesn't manage to hit the stun in time, but it is what it is. Still a really good play overall.
I mean, he would have been able to buffer it anyway, I think.
Yeah.
Really hard to time that correctly. Jimmy stays and holds off the wave. I think that's pretty good. That tower could have fallen if we just let those minions free hit it. Clawseted Furry still maintains a 2k gold lead. That fight did not turn out as well for them as one would have expected, but they also did start out getting 3-man charmed by Noam, which is not how you want to see it. That Ash Arrow from Honan doing a really good job of spotting out the play and kind of stifling it and allowing Cylakats to catch up. The more I watch Cylakats, the more I like their macro play. Very coordinated.
Yeah.
Know exactly what they want to do at kind of like all times around the map. I feel like sometimes their players get outlaned, but they seem to know
They
how to deal with
also
it.
do get a little
perfectly.
bloodthirsty sometimes, which is like fair, but
Yeah. But I feel like they always like commit the proper resources to try to make fights. Whereas I feel like sometimes you have people who seem very uncoordinated and just throw like one or two and just chase things down. They don't need to. I may be guilty of that one myself. Jimmy comes in. He does not want Cho'Gath to get this tower, but that Demolish Proc is huge. Joey actually does have to leave here. Jimmy has no passive, though.
oh, Blake might be getting caught. The Seraphine ult is a little too ambitious here.
He, I think,
But
just took too long to decide which way to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the flash from Jonah.
Oh, insane exhaust.
Shockwave. Oh, but there's just
Okay,
not
they're
enough
able to get
damage
up anyway,
from the Viego.
and he comes back, and Cylaka's able to get him. Zac has to Zonia's here. That Ash Arrow is getting a lot done on him. Layla's down to almost nothing. Honan might be able to just run her down. Yeah, Trey does not have anything to... Oh, the very late ultimate. I don't think this is going to get done what he wants it to.
Oh, but
actually,
he gets
shield bow
one.
popped.
Oh, the shield bow popped.
And
Super
the
good
stun
for him.
onto Cylako
Ooh,
keeps
good
Trey
engage from
alive.
the Zac
Trey's
as
still
well.
going. Double kill. Can he make it a triple? He takes a lot there. He might just die to Seraphine. No, he's able to get a triple kill. Well played to Trey there. Really, really knows the limits of his champion.
Yeah, insane.
That early Phantom Dancer buy is doing so much for him. They now have a 4k gold lead. The one thing that I am looking out for is Soul Point is on the side of Cylakats, so Clawseted Furries could be forced to take some fights they don't want to, but they have great tools to initiate with the Ori Ball on the Zac, as well as like Blake with that. So if they're able to get those three things layered correctly, that could just be done. Free team fight for them. Ah, the blue buff resets, and it gets captured on the VOD. You hate to see it.
Truly unfortunate moment.
Never mind, he wasn't taking it anyway. It goes over to Zac on the Orianna. This was all intended. 1 million IQ calculation. Just get some farming POV. Nothing too exciting for now. We could see a Baron take here, but I'm not sure they know that Viego's bot side. And Viego can definitely get high enough on the map for him to be a problem for them. Game's kind of slowed down a little bit. I do want to see some more aggression from Clawseted Furries. They have a very solid lead here, and I want them to see if they can try and like force anything out with it.
Yeah,
right
they
now they're
need to
playing pretty
have the
slow.
Zac just look to engage. You can honestly start the Baron, look for the turn on the Viego. It is very doable. By the way, Jonah, if I ever see you build Deadmans on Viego, I will report you to the authorities.
That is
If you
gonna
do it,
be a obvious death stance. Smile.
no,
Look at
I
the
know, but I just
components.
want you to know, Jonah, if you build Dust or Deadman's play on Viego, it is. I will call the cops on you. I'm sorry, man. It is illegal. Please don't do it. Thank you. It is so fucking bad. It is genuinely like the worst item you can build on Viego. I promise. If you want item, armor, go Randuin's.
Wait, I'll build Night Harvest on Viego. Prove you wrong. That's gotta be
Go
worse than
ahead.
Deadman.
Honestly, I would prefer that.
Alright, here could be the fight I was talking about. We are looking for Zac and Yone syncing up here. The Zac goes and the Yone exactly as they wanted. We did
Okay.
not see
Good
the Ori
engage.
Shockwave, but we're holding it for later, which isn't actually that bad.
Joy might not be able to get anything
Looks
here.
like
Oh,
Chimmy is
the
pretty
Barry's
deep,
popping
but is
off.
able to get things. This is 2 kills. Oh my
Ooh,
god,
no.
the 4-man charm.
See, he goes back in. But Jonah gets picked up
All
here.
5
Really
of these
well
players
played.
are able to live. They should
Well
just be able
played
to
from
walk and
Clawseted.
grab the dragon here. The ult comes down and is not able to kill anyone, I don't think. Oh, okay, but no one's able to pick up Zac on the Ori towards the end. They could have a steal angle here, but Chimmy has Smite, so it should not happen.
Yeah.
And Blake is able to just walk up and pop snow him there.
Yep.
Jimmy is going towards the Zereth, but I think quickly realizes his team was not there, so he walks away and gets out safely. This is now like a 6k gold lead for Clawseted. They're looking very, very good here. Trey has opted into the early Lord Doms, probably just to deal with the Cho'Gath. Also definitely helps against the Death Stance. That extra armor is going to make Viego a bit more tanky, and being able to negate some of that is helpful, but it's got to be mainly for the Cho. Chimmy's got a bit of a component bundle in his inventory, but he is quite strong. He's 6-1 and 8. Both junglers this game have been doing very good job of doing exactly what their team needs.
See, this is like the main reason I wouldn't like the Viego into the
no one
Zac,
splashes
right?
down. Shockwave comes down.
Oh my god!
Causes that to redirect. Was that a Banshee's Veil on the Ash Arrow? And this should just be Trey cleaning up. Blake finds him over there and just picks him up with the ulti. Clawseted Furries is playing this so well. They should just be able to transition into Baron here. Not sure what the comms are looking like. Okay, they seem to be going for it. Blake hops over with the E. He's not fully committing to this.
I agree with this play though. Just because like you can sit and zone over on the zone over the wall.
I think it's really smart. The Zereth ult comes down. This shouldn't be able to steal anything.
Oh, just looking at one shot the Nami, which is smart.
Is not able to get it. This is a huge play for Clawseted. Next dragon's up in about 3 minutes. Could see a big fight there. The Baron buff will be expiring about that same time. So they won't have that extra combat advantage in the fight, so they're going to need to play it about as well as they played the last one. It should be slightly easier for them just because of the additional items in their inventories. Zac on the Orianna has resorted to more defensive itemization than you'd expect. I feel like it honestly could have been better to just go Crown and then be able to skip the other items. Because I think Crown with double damage items could be more effective than Luden's with double defensive. But yeah. I mean, I also think part of that is like adapting throughout the game, and you're not gonna just like refund your mythic because you feel like you're getting one tapped.
Agreed.
So
I just don't know.
I don't think he's like faulted for this. It just like could be something else to look for because that Crown passive is ridiculous. Still holding to about a 7k gold lead. We're now waiting at a minute 30 on the dragon. Big fight could happen. Think all Clawseted Furries really needs to do is just stay alive as 5 until that dragon, and then just execute that team fight the same way they did before. Trey has a 3-level lead on Honan, which is pretty ridiculous. Definitely a scary player. I'm not looking forward to playing against him.
Agreed.
Looks
The
like
Visage completed over the Thorn Mill, I think, is correct.
Yep.
Just because it provides a lot more value. It scales with the shielding and healing on your team already. So, good itemization here.
They might be overgreeding for this Cho'Gath. Yeah, they're not able to get it, and Shimmy gets locked
Zach
up.
gets CC'd under
And
the tower.
same with the Orianna.
Nami wave coming down.
Blake goes in.
Ooh, Blake
isn't
goes
able,
deep.
Okay, they get one.
Oh, but the Zeri is still playing
Zach
backline
stays
super
alive.
well. Ooh,
This
oh,
fight's
but
so
he keeps
split.
going deep.
That's a triple
okay.
kill onto Zeri.
They
This
should be able to pick
could
these
be
two
an
up.
ace,
Oh, but
except it's a Zach and Nami. I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to do.
yeah, I mean, if he hits the E there, he wins it every time.
Yeah.
Oh, good flash Q. Ooh, Zareth? Ooh, he's fancy with it. We like that.
So that was a 4 for... Oh, no! Cylakats able to snipe him through the wall. So that is an ace, which brings the
That's
gold
not
lead
good,
down
yeah.
to about 6,500. No, 5,500. Where it was at 7, which isn't like a huge deal, but that's 1,000 gold bounty on Zeri, which is
Yeah,
I forget
a little
who
rough.
it went to, but whoever has it, might be Cylakats, is now terrifying. Cylakats is sitting on 4 items.
Yikes.
He buys a Shadow Flame. Zach bases and buys 2 control wards. The difference in itemization in the mid laners after that fight is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they may have
This
had
is
a chance
pretty solid
if
momentum
Chimmy
swing for
died
Cylakats.
faster.
Cylakats,
But
yeah.
Chimmy's not here. So they don't really have
Yeah.
any dragon threat. So that should just be soul given
Blake's
over.
looking for the ulti.
Blake steals
oh,
it.
He steals it!
He's insane.
Okay, well played from Blake. And then the Zeri is still just free firing in the
And they're
backline.
able to
He's
take
managing
down
to pick up
Jonah.
everyone.
Blake might die. Oh my
Joey
god.
does
Joey
die
just
to the-
gobbles him. But
Yeah,
that's a
but
quadra
the
kill.
Zeri
Quadra
picks up
kill
the
for
quadra
Trey.
here.
Where was that? Is he hunting for the penta? He seems to just not go for it. I think you do not mess with the Zeri. I'm going to go back. Let's watch more closely on that Zeri. I was not expecting a quadra for sure. So Blake obviously has a great play here. Steals Dragon, prevents Soul from going over. But we do have Trey hopping on the back. The ult comes down, picks up 1, is getting more damage down, picks up Jonah
Nami
there.
ult coming over is
And then
pretty
is running
good.
down Joey. Actually gets Honan first and then cleans up Joey. Yeah, he just got so much damage down there on the back line. He is also sitting on more than 4 items. He has 4 full items and a Zeal. I believe that makes him the strongest champion in the game right now. Cylakats is pretty close. I think Clawseted Furries should have momentum to try and force something here. But they only have 2 people mid, and they have Nami getting vision in the river where the objective just went down. And Zach seems to be like proxying a wave in bot lane. Oh, and this Zareth ult might be huge. Actually,
Apparently
no.
the
I
play.
forgot it was 5 shots now that he's level 16.
Yeah, really well played from Cylakats.
Yeah. Layla
I've been
dodged
told
3 of those in a
or
row, but it was
informed
not enough.
That Jonah did not smite because of he wanted to let the Cho'Gath eat it, which is a little greedy, I will agree, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I think it makes sense, and I think all that really means is that either the comms were awful and Joey didn't know he was supposed to eat it, or Joey failed 1,600 damage smite, which is more embarrassing. So, oh well.
True. Either one of those works.
I mean, either way, Joey got a stack, right? So he is big chillin'.
True.
He just happened to eat Blake instead of the dragon. I don't know. I think there's something to be said about holding the Cho'Gath ult, if you know that there's going to be a fight afterwards, which I feel like you kind of had to know at that point, you should just smite unless you need the bonus secure, because
Yeah,
having that
I agree.
extra like 900 damage in the fight is way
Ooh,
more
Blake
important
looking for
than having
no.
the guaranteed stack. Trey
Oh,
goes
yeah.
in. He has
But
to
he's
cleanse and
going
flash.
into the two worst people. Like the
Cho'Gath
Cho'Gath
just
should just
ate
gobble him
his
up.
shield bow. And he's
Okay,
able
but
to
they get the
dash
pick
out
on
of the wall.
Ori manages to pick off the Xerath here, which is pretty decent. Jonah might be caught here, gets the hourglass off, and he just dies. He
Yeah,
tries
that
to
arrow
flash the
comes in
wall,
too
but it
late.
doesn't
This
do
should just be
anything.
a Baron into end. I don't see how Cylakats are going to be able to stop this one. Because they're
Agreed.
sitting on, what, like 9k gold lead at this point? And now it's like over 10. This should just be an easy end. They don't necessarily have waves, but they should just be able to 5-man mid. Blake is just top split pushing, though. That could cause some problems. Noam's up, and he's been hitting some very clean ultimates this game. We'll have to see. Chimmy goes in, is able to stun two together, and that's a 4-man charm. What did I say? He hits ultis like crazy. That's so much damage down from Cho'Gath. And Silica's respawning in one.
I don't think they
Trey's
get to
going
end
in.
here. They're looking for it.
Oh my gosh.
They should be able to
and that's
hold all of the
1,000
ulti.
gold. That's another huge shutdown on the Zeri. If Zeri was able to kite that out, I think they win the game, but he just isn't.
Yeah.
And now they only have 4 Barons up. I think maybe if Blake were there or something, it felt like they should have been able to end there, but I don't know. That could be a tilter. Getting that close and then just losing to respawns. We will see. Jonah is sneaking this blue buff right under Zach's nose. He's able to get away with it.
He should actually, okay, at this item point, he should
And
be able to
here's
beat the Zach in the 1v1,
TP.
but there is a TP coming down.
I mean, Zach is also like level 18. Like,
yeah. He's just dead
and
here.
Jonah's just gone.
Good pick.
Alright, so now they should be able to just group up all 4.
Run it down, ARAM style.
The problem is Zeri is level 18, so she's still not respawned. Which makes this really tough, and she has no TP to get there.
Oh, and the whip from the Ori, that's not good.
Yeah. Luckily, the cooldown is
the silica damage
terrible.
is just
oh
too
my
fucking
god,
high.
the
Oh, the
Asher comes
ulti
down.
over the top.
And
He
Layla's
flashes
just
to
stuck,
get in
can't
range.
move.
The fucking double ulti from Seraphine. Oh my gosh, the Cho'Gath is obliterating this fucking Yone like there's no tomorrow. The Zach's looking to get away here. He pops a passive, and it looks like it's just another stopped end stopped by Red Side. That's crazy. They played that so well.
Soul, there's no jungler to contest at this time, and Blake, the legendary thief, is not there to do it.
Zeri is desperately trying to keep for their ulti alive.
My god.
The ulti drops and they overextend just a little bit. Oh, and he gets the E over the wall, but there's nothing they can get. This ult actually matters so much. Like, this Cho'Gath should just be unkillable now to their team. Very unfortunate. I'm surprised there's no... Oh, he did get Force of Nature. Never mind. I can't... Yeah. I'm blind, apparently.
Zach is over the wall. He might be able to go for, like, some sort of shockwave play, but it looks like he can't. That is an objective bounty over for Cylakats, but don't think that's, like, super, super important at this point. Everyone's so late in their builds that...
Yeah, like Silico is holding this team together. My fucking lord. His play has been quite immaculate on the Xerath, hitting a lot of key skill shots just to like super chunk the enemy team.
Joey has skilled up too. He had a very rough.
He is able to buy a lot of time for his carries and a lot of space.
Yeah, he's just big. His champion is huge.
Chunky boy. Any chunkers in chat, bro?
Alright, Blake is looking for something here. He just gets immediately stunned, has to go back. His shield bow's gone. And Xerath just picks him off. Nope, he's still alive.
Oh, the ulti!
That was like
the whiffs.
3 ultis for him.
Kill. I think it's worth it though. Blake's a lot of blue team's damage. Like, now it's just up to the Zeri to do all the damage, and that's honestly not very good. I don't think Zeri is really good as a primary carry. Like, it's good. It's like good follow up and like she can be super annoying, but you do need like a consistent second carry. And I think Blake was doing that, but he managed to get picked. Zach's looking for the engage here. This is really sus. He has no follow from the Ori, and the Cho'Gath is just able. If he goes in, the Cho'Gath should just be able to walk down his ADC like no tomorrow. So this is like a really hard spot to play. They need to look for the engage onto the Xerath, right? But it's like super hard to do at this point.
My eyes are on that Enchanting Crystal Arrow right now. I was actually wrong earlier. They burned 4 ultimates to get Blake, but now one of them's right back up. If we
It's
see
Ash ulti.
another...
This shit has no fucking cooldown for
Yeah.
some reason.
Well, they got a buffer somehow, apparently. But if this arrow comes down and hits someone, that could honestly spell disaster. Both teams are so strong at this point that the gold lead is kind of irrelevant. And the key advantage for the teams that you want to look for is that Mountain Soul, which is over to the side of Cylakats, not the team that has the AK gold lead. So... Record for most Scrim zone pauses. Looks like Blake had to leave for this one. Oh my god. Layla's just dead.
Oh my gosh, this fucking Xerath damage is so illegal. Well played from Silico though.
Jesus. That's brutal. I don't know if they're going to be able to contest Baron anymore. This is a really tough macro call for Clawseted Furries to have to make here because they're not ahead enough that they comfortably win fights anymore.
Yeah.
And you're missing a Nami who has that huge teamfight ultimate that sets up exactly well.
Oh,
and
good ult.
They hit the
Ash
stun.
arrow.
Blake's
Blake
just able
is
to get out
kind
of
of
it pretty
tanky
quickly.
though. Oh,
Blake
looks for
goes
the
in,
ulti.
hits no one. He might be able to get Honan in the back, but Honan is not
Oh,
one.
managed to get him
And the
low.
Ash
The
arrows
shield
come down and
blocks
kill
and
him.
nothing happens. Ooh, Viego manages to lose his GA here, but it doesn't matter. Like, his team is just so strong. They should just be able to take Baron here. This should be a Baron end.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like Clawseted Furries started off really strong, and it just felt like when they weren't able to end that one time, it just kind of fell apart.
Yeah. They just let the Xerath get too much free shit. Like, he got like 5 shutdowns in a row, and it was kind of over from there. Not exactly their fault though. Like, it's kind of hard to play spots. I think they just like overreached a few too many times, and sort of was just GG from there, right?
Yeah. I mean, huge props to Silico for being able to punish this correctly.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Xerath just finds her again. Did she even have vision? Or did Xerath just
He's
send
literally
it?
just ulting from fucking South. He's literally ulting from Africa, man. What the fuck?
That's insane. There's no vision there. I mean, they might have popped a
Just
cone or
blind
something,
ulti.
but...
Yeah. Bro, your mid laner is correct, Jonah. Jesus. The solo ulti is kind of pointless. I'm surprised he even did that. Like, and you just have no ult for this fight.
Yeah.
I think Clawseted Furries just hasn't been able to get their combo off as well.
Yeah,
It's like
they just feel desperate to
they're
get
looking.
anything working. And so they
Yeah.
keep taking a bunch of subpar fights. And Trey just eats the
it's
arrow.
fucking
Does not have
comboed
cleanse
into
up.
fucking this
And now
universe.
Blake is just doing no damage to Silico at all.
Ambitious jump back in from the Zach as well. Looks like this is just GG from here.
Yeah, especially with Joey in their base. It's...
Ooh, he's looking.
Okay, he is able to pick up the kill on Silico. He just, you could tell he needed to get that for himself, but...
Yeah, Joey's just unkillable in their base.
Yeah, with a game this long, honestly, I
Okay.
think you have to
No,
worry
he's
about...
just being a fucking evil at this point. My lord.
Can he eat her at
This
that
is-
health? Oh, he
Oh,
can't.
he can't.
He can just
Close.
walk into
1
base and
HP
kill her
though.
there. He's got 7k HP.
Maybe. But they just go for the safe end.
Yeah.
This is smart. Well played from Cylakats. Way to bring it back from that huge goal deficit.
Yeah. I just worry about the mental state of Clawseted Furries after that, because they had that game. It just, you could kind of tell it's getting into
A
their
little
heads.
roughy. Yeah.
Alrighty. I will update my stuff. Ooh. Silico has messaged me and said to drag, but I didn't see it while I was watching the game. Oops. Alright,
Tell
I'm
him to
gonna
rejoin.
try. Well, I can. Alrighty. Okay, I will update the assets to the best of my ability as fast as I can.
Okay.
Shout out to the new Scrims website. Very cool, very cool. Of course, I feel like if I say it's very cool and I'm the one who did it, that it makes it less cool, but oh, whatever. I'm
Rouge.
happy. Oh, VLC is just automatically playing the same game over again. Thanks, VLC. Alright, so looks like for this game we have Garrett swapping to the top lane. We still have Chimmy in the jungle. Blake is going mid. So that means that overall it was a sub out of Layla for Garrett. Because Zach ended up as support. And it looks like they ran back the Joey, Jonah, Silico, Honan, Noam team.
Ignore draft, please, God. Sorry, bro. We have to talk about draft, my brother in Christ.
Like, literally contractually obligated. Sorry. Like, I wrote myself a contract just so I could say that I have to talk about draft.
True.
Hate to break it to you.
Truge. Any truers in chat?
Oh. I saw motion. That probably means I did something.
Alright, I will be back though. I need to clean some stuff up.
Alright. I will talk about the highlights while you are gone. My good sir. Alrighty, so Champ's Cylakats here. Jimmy, Zach, Blake's GP, Misfortune from Zach, Obvious One, Trey's signature Zeri, all champions to be afraid of. Joey's got that Cho'Gath that he played last game. They might want to look to ban that out. Jonah's Lilia is pretty insane. I know he played so well against us that we decided to ban it. I think some of these other picks might be a bit of spoilers, especially looking at that Seraphine. But Honan is also known for this Varus pick, so we'll see if he decides to whip that one out or not. Gonna move on to Zach, key player, win rate 50%, games played 4, KDA 5.25, which is insane. He's only played 2 champions on the 4 games, kind of makes sense. Joey, 36 games with an insane 58% win rate. KDA of a 3.4, also very solid, but he's only played 11 champions. I think now that he's doing more of a role swap over to the top lane, that's going to kind of like expand that champion pool pretty significantly. I think we will have to see. Then the key matchup is going to be Blake versus Silico in the mid lane. This actually only happened twice. In the game before this one, it was Ornn versus Lucian mid. That one, I believe, was a train wreck. Blake's mid lane stats are impressive, though. 23 wins, only 13 losses. His KD is only a 2.5, which isn't too crazy. Clawseted and GP used to be what he was like exclusively known for, but now he's kind of like expanded into like a more multifaceted player in the sense that he will play whatever he wants to, and you kind of don't know what it's going to be. Then we have Silico on the other side. Has only played 9 mid games so far with a 3.45 KDA, which is very impressive. He's played a bit of a different champion pool than Blake. He's got kind of like an assassin-y or a long-range mage thing going on, whereas Blake's got more of like a balanced champion pool of whatever the hell you want to play. So it will be interesting to see how these two players match up into each other. Yes, my prophet has returned.
Alright, I'm back. Hello!
Hello. Just as I was done talking about it. Alrighty. Now into draft. Again, all these are reruns of games, so the draft is already going to be done for us. Cylakats does have a 1-game advantage in the series so far at this point. And they lock in after bans. It looks like it's pretty much the same thing. Um, the Renata is allowed up in exchange for the Xerath. I think that makes sense. That Xerath was terrifying, and I don't know how big of a threat that Renata is when Seraphine's being prioed as hard as it is.
Agreed.
Cassio is taken away. I think they are aware that Blake plays it. I'm not entirely sure what the angle is there, though. And then that Amumu is taken away. I think Shimmy plays it, and I know Blake has also played it before. So then,
Bless your soul, by the way. We're not being cringe, leaving fucking banning Udyr while picking Lilia. Bless your soul, man. This matchup is fucking unplayable for Udyr, and you'll see why probably here in this game.
true. Okay, first pick Zeri, same thing before, and now we actually get the Ashe Seraphine second rotation, or first rotation, first double pick for red side. This shit has been left up so many times. We are really just feeding red side teams, like, we are not punishing them for by taking away prio picks. We are leaving up the Giga Prio bot lane in at least this. I mean, maybe it's just bad. Like maybe everyone has like half the teams have an awful meta read, and everyone is just like, okay, Ashe Seraphine is dog shit. We can just let people have it. Doesn't matter. But it once again gets left up, and both champions get taken on red side. They pick the Misfortune. I don't know if they knew at this point if it was going to be mid or support, but Zach had been playing a lot of it, and actually I was talking to Zach the other day, and they said that this was kind of like their counterplay into the Ashe Seraphine, where they just kind of poke them out and try to just kind of like out farm to make their champion stronger. I don't know if I fully agree with that approach, because I feel like the huge upside of Seraphine and Ashe is that you don't need to do well in lane in order to be good, because your team fighting's so good even on limited items, but we will see. And then Shimmy gets to lock in his Udyr one-trick pick, and then, as you said, if Udyr gets picked, just pick Lilia. It's not hard. That leads us into the bans. We see Malphite get banned again, and then Ornn banned, and Cho'Gath banned against Joey, and then they banned the Nami. I'm not sure if they knew that Layla wasn't playing. They should have if the teams were doing things correctly, but who knows? They could just think that Nami's good with both Misfortune and Zeri, and they just figured one of those champions was going mid, or they just maybe didn't know what to ban at all and just went with something that got played recently. I don't really know. One of those two things, or one of those things probably. Then we do get the set blind. Looks like Blake picks Corki. Do you know anything about the Corki Seraphine matchup? If he was considering that or not?
Me? I have no fucking idea.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure Seraphine should just scale as well, but like Corki can potentially poke them out before the fight. It's like nothing crazy.
Yeah, I feel like the Corki does go really well with their team composition.
Agreed.
Although I don't know if that's as true with the new build that you have to do, because they nerfed the crap out of his AP scaling, so you kind of have to build him. I see still does AP damage, so never mind. Forgot about Corki passive. Okay, and then Shen is picked into set. I believe that should be a good matchup, but I'm also only thinking that because it was picked as a counter pick, so I will consult the statistics. No, it's a fucking terrible matchup. Okay.
What is?
This is one of those matchups where I remember that it's super polarizing, and I just forget which way it goes. Yeah, Set absolutely smashes on Shen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt and hope that they didn't pick like a basically unwinnable matchup in the one lane where counterpick matters more than anything, but it seems like they managed to do that one. And then, just for the culture, we'll check the Corki Zed matchup, and Zed is Corki's worst matchup. So you basically have both of your solo lanes with the actual worst matchup possible, and you're going for a... And you also have an atrocious jungle matchup, right? So
yeah,
you basically can't do anything except on bot lane, and with...
Like, I don't know if you're watching this. This is a fumble draft, my brother in Christ. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah. This is a yikes. And then with Zeri and Misfortune, sure, you can apply a lot of pressure, But if you're actually trying to prevent Ashe and Seraphine from farming, you kind of do have to push up a lot, which makes you very vulnerable. And Jonah should not have to apply pressure to any other part of the map because it all should just be like naturally winning.
Yeah, he can literally just AFK. Like, unironically,
I
he's
would like to say that Clawseted Furries can draft better than this. They simply didn't because they were tilted.
I agree.
I think that is
There's
like
no way.
straight up best case scenario because this draft is like unsalvageable. I mean, obviously Corki gets a terrible matchup because you had to blind pick it, but and like they're two really bad matchups. And the Corki and Udyr are just like counter pick. Like that's what happens when you choose blue side.
Yeah, you do have to go against some counter pick. So,
but
I'm surprised if you're gonna pick the Udyr, there's no consideration on the Lilia ban because that's what we did. Because Lilia does shit on my champions pretty hard. So like, I'm surprised that since you have the knowledge of the Lilia pick is available to Jonah, like you don't ban it out if you're gonna try to pry out Udyr at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think Corki's a good pick because I do believe that it does do better into Seraphine. I don't think it's like a crazy lane because I think Seraphine can also team fight really well, but I at least understand why you go for that. And then you kind of force them to pick because like all the champions that like destroy Corki are kind of like out there. Like it's like assassins or like one-shot mages, right? So it kind of forces you into a specific, not like composition, but it might force you to draft a mid laner that messes up your comp. So I respect the Corki pick a lot. The Shen though is just, I don't know.
Question mark thing.
Right. Like I guess I understand why Shen helps your composition, but you should see Set and go, I'm not doing that. Like you obviously want to keep the Zeri alive and being able to throw Shen onto Corki with the Corki package or maybe even into Udyr. That could be pretty helpful, but I don't know. It is just unfortunate. It could just be like a champion pool issue too, as well, because I don't know how much Garrett really plays top lane, but or it just could be like very intelligent drafting for Cylakats, because Set does kind of counter everything that you'd want to pick. So I don't know, tough situation. Feel like draft is definitely strongly favoring one team over another, regardless of what that reason is. So bit of an L. Alright, and we are into game. Seems like, again, there are not going to be any level 1 shenanigans. These teams seem quite willing to just kind of play the game pretty slowly. Just fine. No huge complaints there. I am expecting to see huge winning lanes for both solo lanes from Cylakats. And a bit of a jungle canyon as well.
Yeah. Okay, Jonah, you're in call. Do you prefer the Dark Harvest over Conqueror setup? Because I feel like Conqueror into their team is like super good, but I can if you go Harvest into Squishies, I can make that makes sense. Dark Harvest, okay. So much damage. I mean, I feel like the sustain you get off Conqueror is just insane. Like Lilia does actually have some sustain issues, IMO, but to each their own, I guess. That's a playstyle difference, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
This
I mean,
already tanky IMO.
My, inexperienced Lilia gameplay, I would see the 3 bot side like Corki, Zeri, Misfortune, Dark Harvest makes sense. I don't think there's like really a wrong option here.
Agreed.
I think if maybe you had like an Irelia or Silas or something in the mid lane, and you had a bit more reason to do sustained fights, then I would probably swap over to Conqueror, but considering it's a Corki, maybe not. We are playing aggressive in the early lane, top lane. I guess that makes sense for the Shen, because you do have that grasp, which helps your early trading. So you kind of want to take advantage of it, but Set is just going to regen more than you because of his passive, which makes it pretty tough to go for anything. Blake already doing some banter in Ultra towards the beginning of the game, asking for Silico to let him hit first strike gold, so you know, happens.
Based.
Joey almost gets a first blood at 2 minutes. Garrett narrowly is able to get out, but I don't know. That like level disadvantage he's going to have to stay in a pretty risky situation or just concede a bunch of levels. So do not envy the position he's in right now.
Hello. Hey,
Shimmy
Eric.
is coming top lane. This could be big. Oh my god, Set gets first blood anyway. He just sits there, soaks up all the damage from Jimmy, and just pops the Shen. And then they immediately just get the kill back onto Joey, but I don't know. You
I'm assuming he does it.
resources
Okay, he
there.
went E. Okay, that's okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Yep. And then
There is,
Jimmy's
like,
actually
skill
able to
in
just kill Jonah,
nothing.
so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
pretty good for him.
Jonah face checking there is super troll. Like, Udyr does actually have a lot of really good dueling potential. He's just, I hate you for this. I got one shot. You're a clown. You deserve to get one shot there. You walked. I knew he was there, brother. Sure. Why did you go anywhere near him? You have to play that spot way slower than you did. I promise you. I played both of those champions religiously. You played that wrong. I'm sorry, my king.
I think there could also be something to be said that I think Jimmy still had Ghost up, and I don't know if Jonah knew that or not.
No, he didn't. He just
didn't?
popped it. He popped it. Yeah.
Oh, I meant like
We watched him
he
pop it.
still had Ghost on from his previous kill, is what I was trying to say.
No, it wore off. I'm pretty
okay.
sure. We can go back
Well,
and check
Zach
if you want,
is simply dead here. This is exactly what I was talking about in draft. They pushed up a little bit just because of how their like idea to counter this lane is going to work, and they get punished for it.
Yeah.
Both of them die. They are up a decent amount of CS, but if Lily is able to just go down there and farm them, I don't think that that lead is worth it overall. Garrett continues to try and fight. I don't know. Seems a bit interesting to me. This matchup is not great at all, but Garrett actually does seem to be playing it pretty well in terms of like trading. He is down a lot of CS though, and this wave is just gonna pull into him and not be fun to deal with. He's down 2 levels right now, so I think Joey might have an angle to just straight up kill him. Joey seems to not know how to take advantage of the matchup, so we could see top lane going not as polarized as it could be. And considering how big of a lead Joey has, that is kind of scary to think about.
Hold on, Eric. If you don't mind, can you like take my spot in the cast real quick?
Yeah, of course.
All right, I'll be right back then.
Alright, you can see everything okay, right?
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah, I see an Ashe Seraphine, so I know where my vote lies.
True. We also have 2 atrocious solo lane matchups for both of Clawseted Furries lanes.
I guess their win con is like, in theory this matchup is bad for Udyr.
Oh, it is atrocious for Udyr.
So blue team's win condition is
Get the Zeri one-trick fed.
yeah.
Which, I don't know. Seems doable. I mean, he's got the most CS in the game, right? Or
yeah, and
close to
also
Zed.
like Ashe is down so much CS. I don't really know why that is happening, but
might just be that misfortune damage. That is disgusting.
yeah,
to
misfortune
watch.
seems pretty brutal.
Yeah. I've heard this is their secret tech to counter the Ashe Seraphine bot lane. I think the secret tech to countering the Ashe Seraphine bot lane is picking Seraphine first when you're on blue side.
Yeah, it's picking the champion that's really strong.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously tough because they pick blue side because they want to guarantee that their one trick can get his champion. But then I think you might just have to ban Seraphine or Ashe on blue side. And I don't think Ashe is that strong without Seraphine. So just rotating a Seraphine ban instead of like, oof. Hate to see it. Oh, and that is a solo kill on Blake from Cylakats. Yeah. Well, both of the solo lanes
it's too early
are,
to write it off, but
yeah.
man, that is tough. Also, this MF needs to get out of there. Looking for a steal with the E,
Chimmy,
I guess.
Chimmy going.
Oh, Chimmy's. He doesn't have smite up. Yeah, nothing's gonna happen here, unfortunately.
I think he might have just been checking for vision and then noticed a bit too late. This is still a 2-level lead on the top side. Garrett is not having a good time here.
Yeah. I do,
Trago's
however.
in. This could be big.
Oh, this could be, yeah, this could be big. Pops the cleanse for Nimbus Cloak, I guess?
I think he was slowed by Seraphine there. I wouldn't swear to it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
close. If Zach was able to hit him at all with like Misfortune E, then he was just dead. But
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Also,
not able to.
if his game plan was to cleanse the Seraphine slow, he probably could have done it a little faster and then maybe gotten the kill.
Yeah. Seems more
But,
like a desperation thing than anything.
Yeah, indecision to commit to using the cleanse, you know, just like you get punished for that.
Yep. Joey is just living his best life up here. He still has been throwing his empowered autos into the Shen auto field, which is not what you want to see. But
Yeah, our resident Udyr one trick wanted to briefly flame the Udyr player for not rushing Darksteel when they're ahead. You know, I agree.
I understand why you wouldn't, but it is very cool to do, I think.
Yeah. Well, apparently Bomby Cinder is bad.
Oh.
Your clear is fast enough without bombies that you don't need it, and also Swifties just lets you catch the Lilia, and also like improves your clear speed by like 10 billion years because you just get to every camp faster.
Gotcha.
Was the thinking.
Blake gets Shen Ard to save him from Silico.
back,
That
Mason?
may or may not have been necessary.
Yeah, but you can keep going if you want.
No,
I'm eating.
I'm chilling. I'll watch.
Alright.
Alright, Chimmy gets rooted up, and Silico just gets another kill onto Blake.
Kill.
Not a solo kill.
Actually,
Lilia got
no,
the
it's not
assist.
the ball baby, sheesh. Yeah, and then this is what happens when you play Udyr into Lilia, by the way. Like, Lilia can literally just walk in your jungle for free, and you're never catching her without Ghost or Blue Smite.
Very unfortunate. Yeah, these solo lanes are just not going well at all.
Yeah. This draft from Blake, not it. No bueno, my doggy.
Yeah. I mean, I understand where he's coming from with the Corki because they didn't first rotate the Seraphine Ashe last time, so it could be the Seraphine mid, but I think assuming it and picking a champion that you're not super comfortable on is always tough, especially when you're playing into a player like Cylako. Like, he just has that champion pool. His Zed is also not a pick that we didn't know about.
Yeah, he is a very common Zed player. I will say it is a bit of an ego pick. I think there are many better champions than Zed, but I understand if it's like comfort for him.
I mean, I think like solo queue sense, Zed is the hardest shutdown to Corki. It's just, does Zed fit into this team comp?
And the answer is actually yes, honestly.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, I mean, especially
AD damage.
Because you have that win condition of Zeri, being able to just pop the Zeri. That's huge.
Yeah. Like, you can just dive the backline. Like, he has easy access to Serpent's Fang, so Shen isn't like a super hard counter to him here. Sat also is just like, he does your job as a frontliner. He buys so much space for the Ashe Seraphine, which can already do that by itself, right?
Yeah.
And then there's like no enablers for like the type of style that blue team wants to go for, right? Because they have the Udyr, they have the Shen. There's no one to like make them go faster, for lack of a better term, right?
True.
Like,
yeah, because you
these
don't
champions,
have as Enchantress for Shirelias.
Yeah, it's not even just Shirelias. It's just like, if you have like a Karma here instead of the MF, you're like so chilling. Like, literally any enchanter just gets you across the line for this comp by MO. I just don't think the MF support is really good here. Like, there's arguments for like MF support in certain matchups, like the Zyra matchup or some random shit that SKT pulled out like 6 years ago, and people still bring up. But like, I just don't think it offers anything. Oh, the insane combo, but it does negative damage because he's the cleanse on the Seraphine ult. Oh my gosh, he's crazy, but they have no fucking damage or no follow-up, man. It's so illegal. The ulti onto the fucking Udyr, he gets the stun into the Phoenix hits, but he hits every shuriken.
Oh my god.
And the Prowlers, he goes in. Oh, and he hits everything. Well played from Silico.
Blake is able to get that
shutdown. Shahish. Sorry, I had to do a little bit of a hype.
All good, all good. Ashe Flash in exchange for MF Exhaust and Zeri Cleanse. I think that's actually a pretty even trade, especially considering it was both ults as well. It just kind of shuts down the bot lane entirely. That's another Dragon going over to Cylakats, which is not good for Clawseted Furries. Again, I feel like neither of these drafts have like a. What is Silico going on about? Yeah, I feel like neither of
Yeah,
these teams has like a clear late game advantage, so just dragon stacking is the way that you want to secure your team as the better late game composition.
I agree. I think the Udyr should have more prio on these dragons. Like your ability to take dragons is really quick. Um, if you have like the bot lane that should theoretically have the better push, right? Like with the MF and the
Yeah,
Zeri.
I mean,
But
they
like,
definitely have throughout the game.
yeah. I don't know. Very strange.
Yeah, Garrett's just getting bodied up in the top lane, which honestly should be fine as a Shen. I just haven't seen him be very proactive with his Shen ultimates, because I think there's a
Yeah,
lot that you could do by forcing plays around bot side, but
I agree.
it kind of feels like Trey and Zach have had to just like make their own plays. Whereas
Yeah,
compared to last game, there were a lot of plays coming down towards bot, which got him really fed. But
I agree. I think the Shen is not like partnering up with the Udyr enough, right? And Udyr isn't getting like the farm advantage he should be having. Like if you're picking Udyr, you're looking to just like if you're not looking to make more proactive plays, you're looking to like do aggressive invades with your top laner or like your mid laner and try to like just be constantly taking the enemy's camps because your clear speed, your move speed, it's all faster than the enemy junglers, right? So
unless
that's
it's
what you should
Lilia.
be looking to do. Yeah, unless it's Lilia. But like I think
Yeah.
even into Lilia, your clear speed should be faster than hers, right?
Yep.
And you should be able to pull out advantages from that. I
Chimmy
don't
is
know.
going to gank the
Is
Shen.
it done?
Oh my
Oh, the
god.
flash, but the ulti backwards from
Yeah,
Joey.
that
Well
was really
played,
well
just to
done by
get him out
Joey.
of range.
No, I don't know why you gank a Shen lane.
There are some advantages to it. Like it's a really easy lane to get set up from. If you get yourself snowballing off the Shen lane, it's like fairly decent, because then the Shen will feel like he has to stay in lane to just be able to match
Right.
the top laner, right?
True.
But it's like pretty situational. He looks for an invade, but there's a 2-man collapse from blue team, or from red team,
Silico
and
ultis again.
Silico just gets another kill off his own.
Prowlers. The
Yeah, Joey
Shen
flashes
ult came
up here.
down, but I think he's just dead too.
Yeah, this was
Jonah
a
hits
really
that,
poor
yeah.
invade. Yeah, unfortunate.
Overcommitted a bit for that. I don't know. I understand why you would want to make plays around the Udyr. He is the strongest member of your team right now. But
Yeah,
you just got to be careful about it. There's like a 3-in-1, I think, at that point, Zed, that you have to deal with. Not fun. Ash Arrow comes down. It hits Blake. Should Silico be able to just kill here? If he had R, he would have been able to, but he did not. They're able to hit the exhaust and the Seraphine ulti onto Trey. It might be enough to get the kill. He's really looking for Honan. He missed like a Q or two there. The cleanse comes
Cleanse
down, but
doesn't
it's
do
not
anything?
enough. Jonas behind Zach, but Zach should just be able to get out. Yeah. I think
Why
Blake's
would
just
you
dead
take
here.
cleanse if you're not going to use it on the charm?
agreed. Okay, Jonah just gets the ulti. He
This
just
is my
leaves.
only comment.
Okay,
Silico
valid.
is
No, that's a base comment though.
ravaging his lane. Blake is not allowed to
Yeah.
play the game.
The stun onto the Ash. Yeah, there's just nothing you can do about it at this point.
I don't think Zach or Chimmy are gonna live here. Actually, if Chimmy
Yeah.
just turbo speeds out, he might be fine. Well, that is about a 5k gold lead at 16 minutes with 2 dragons on the same side, with the next one about to spawn in a minute. This is a position that you'd hate to be in. Maybe you can try and like leverage something with these objective bounties, but looks rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what the win condition for Clawseted Furries is even gonna be here, because I think even if you do manage to get this area far ahead, Silico is just gonna be able to just murder him. Like, he's got the Shield Reaver, he's got the Prowlers, and he's also just so far ahead. I don't know. And another good ulti from Noam. And the anti-synergy with the Corki and Misfortune knocks everyone out of the Misfortune ulti.
Yeah, Jonas just can sit in the back, throw snowballs.
Sylko went in and just died.
Sylko trying.
So
Gets the double sleep. The Shed ulti comes down on the Zeri. He does manage to get out. The Udyr is looking to do the Udyr
Blake
thing,
is looking
but
for
I don't
Noam,
think he
is
can do
able
anything.
to pick him up.
Joey getting a
Zach's
ulti
just
into the
dead.
back line. Yeah.
Blake
This Ashe is just
manages to
fucking
pick up
going
another
crazy.
one.
Blake
Blake
is
is a
trying
triple
his
kill.
best.
That's pretty good. But also
Yeah,
a triple
of the
kill
gold
for
outs
Joey. This might be a quad for Joey. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
Quadra for
fucking set
Joey.
king. Let's fucking go. Jonah with really good patience in that fight, though. I like that. Just playing backline, that's how this matchup goes. Also, you should not be building Frozen Heart here, IMO. You literally just need Force of Nature to be able to play the game versus Lilia.
True.
But ironically, this is the one matchup where it doesn't matter what anything else on the comp is. You just need to get Force of Nature so you can actually be able to go through the Lilia. To be fair, I think he is going Warden's Mail into Force of Nature, which I think is correct as well. Or is
I
valid.
feel like that helps you deal with like Set, Ashe, maybe
Yeah.
Shed.
But you just need the MR for the Lilia.
Right.
Otherwise you will just get permakited.
Yep, and the movement speed certainly does not hurt either.
Yeah, because if she Qs you at all, you get full Force of Nature stacks and you're fucking Barry
Gotcha.
Allen.
That is awesome, yeah.
By the way, Jonah, you can stop banning Udyr if you're gonna play Lilia. Thank you. Bad champion.
Ah, Cylakats just brutalizes the Scuttle Crab. Never stood a chance. They do have 3 dragons now at like 19 minutes, along with their
Yeah.
5k gold lead. This shit is very unfortunate for Clawseted Furries. Nice camera pan to Shen there. That Ashe arrow did happen to hit him across the map. Joey is like deep in enemy lines.
In
But I think
Africa.
he might just be able to kill them. The ult
Good
comes,
ult, dude, to
and he
try
is
and
running.
get
He
back
gets
out.
a stride breaker
Gets
to
the stride
slow
breaker
him.
out. He hits. Jonah
Blake's
hits an
super
ulti
low.
on the Blake. He's like 1 HP.
Sylka goes for it.
Sylka's looking for it.
Oh,
gets
my
the
God.
ulti onto the fucking MF so he can reach the Corki.
That was
well played.
insane.
Super well played from from Silico here.
Yeah.
Okay. They can just play this as slow as they want.
Yup. Yeah, I don't even really know what you do here as Closeted Furries. It is a rough game. His top laner is basically non-existent. He serves... At this point, you should just be building the Moonstone on Shen, I feel like.
True.
Like, unironically, it is not a bad
yeah.
item, and you are not doing anything else. Like, you have a tank item, but you're not tanky enough to really live. So your
Yeah.
only offering is that shield to try to give, like, something to Corki and Zeri, but... I don't know. It is rough. Zeri is not having a nice go of it. I think they realized after last game that they need to focus a lot of pressure onto making sure she can't just do whatever she wants in those team fights. Because what was it? It was like a 17 or 18 bomb, right? So
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
definitely odd to see Closeted Furries build a comp that is very clearly meant to keep this Zeri very far ahead and then dedicate almost no jungle pressure down to that lane. I do think it's pretty hard to gank the Ashe Seraphine as Udyr, but I don't know. Maybe you just draft a different jungler.
Yeah, at that point, I would just go a different jungler.
You could also hope that like the slow resistance is enough when you have the Swifties, but seems like he is
and
not
that's
willing
a
to
long
take
shot.
that risk. Yeah.
That is a long shot. As a person who's put too many hours into Udyr, it is kind of not feasible. TM.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like this like 1 minute countdown into Soul is just brutal for Closeted Furries. Because they know that they have to fight or they're going to face a team that is just going to run around fast as hell and they won't be able to catch them all game. Neither of those is something that they want to deal
particularly
with.
appealing. Yeah.
Yeah. So you really just have to hope that you're going to get Quirky Package and have some sort of like crazy engage that happens to synergize with the Misfortune, which they've struggled to do so far. That first Quirky Package knocked literally 3 members out of the Misfortune ulti, so pretty much the opposite of what you wanted there. Noah's been playing really well this series. He's been hitting a lot of roots and charms.
Yeah.
Like,
Seraphine type beat.
yeah. I don't know how much of it is like Clawseted Furries just not respecting like the lineups and stuff. Oh my god. I was just about to comment.
Fucking obliterated
Yeah.
him. Oh
I
my
was just about
lord.
to comment on how it doesn't matter that and the package is gone. That's so bad.
This stance swapping hurts my eyes from the Udyr, by the way. It's actually
Cylakats
so bad.
just goes in the backline and just murders both of the carries. That's pretty doomed. Cylakats picks up another one. Triple kill. Easy clap. Yeah, the one advantage that...
Cylakats with the eyeball fucking gap, actually building Serpent's Fang into the enemy team. Bless your soul, King.
True. He's got... Actually, only one shield bow. I thought Corky was going to do it too.
He went Death Stance, which is
I
really
think it would be
interesting.
better to do it. I think the Death Stance is just to survive the lane versus Zed, but don't know if that's the
Yeah.
right way to do it.
Hello, Kim.
Wait.
We are finishing up a cast real quick, though, if you don't mind. We were just watching back the game. I think the shield, the Serpents is really good into this, to the Shen ulti. It's really good into the shield bow from Zeri. The Udyr shield actually kind of matters, because that's what they should be maxing second, is the shield.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I
if he's
think it's
doing
a
that,
great itemization.
So
I just-
Yeah.
mid laner?
It's more of a
Yeah.
comment on Blake not having a shield bow than anything else. But
Yeah. He's still going the AP build, which is fair.
is it?
Huh? Yeah. He has a lost chapter.
Oh no, I mean, is it fair? I thought it was like neutered.
I think it is weaker, but I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. I don't know.
I don't know. I
Not
looked
sure.
at the ratios and I feel like I was not happy with what the changes were.
Yeah. That's fair. Ah, yes. Do you have any thoughts on MF support, by the way, Cam?
Oh
Smile.
my god. I hate MF support. I hate Ashe support. Get these MF and AD carries out of the support role and play something that has impact.
Bless. Base take, by the way. Thank you, my mid.
It's okay. We'll just draft Ashe support again. No big deal.
Oh my god, and that'll be the
Yeah,
last
but we're
pick
pairing
you
it with
ever
the
make.
Seraphine. We're pairing
Right.
it with a support style champion, so I think it's a bit different.
Yeah, it's like a little
And
better.
Cylakats
You're
goes
just
in on the
playing,
carry. He actually gets taunted out. That's a really good play by Garrett there, but it simply doesn't matter. Joey,
is
is
just
too
too
strong
fucking
this
big.
game.
He gets the fucking huge. The MF ult does no damage, by the
That
way.
is another
They
trick.
have the fucking Leandries. Nice fucking build, dude.
I just cannot stand MF or Ashe support. They don't do anything. They don't do anything.
It's
People
so
play MF
useless.
Even MF now doesn't do anything. She's a lane bully, but there are just other AD carries who are better at doing it. And then like she gets out of lane and she's an ult bot, and that's so obnoxiously bad.
Based.
This should just
Joey
be
does
game.
get the fucking.
I don't see
yeah,
any
he
world where
does
they
get
don't
the
just like
inhib as
walk
well.
it down. They're just playing it slow. Ugh.
Cringe. TBH.
Gross.
I mean, I think it's fair. They want this one. I think they worked way too hard in game 1 to troll it away game 2.
True. I think they learned from the other team's mistake.
Yeah.
They have a 15k gold lead and a 20 kill lead at 27 minutes. Elder is up in. Oh, and
Oh,
is
they
that
just
an
FF. I
FF?
remember. Yeah.
This is.
But then the Ashe support's on the enemy team, and their arrows are heat-seeking, and they find their way to my face every 30 seconds because they have 40% cooldown at 10 minutes. It's just...
As friendly reminder to everyone who is watching this, you're not actually allowed to FF games. So
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
do
It can be game 3, right?
You are allowed to FF any game that doesn't decide the series. So
Okay.
if you have not lost a game yet, you can FF. But that is the official ruling for what
Okay.
it's worth. But oh well. Alright, I will cut the stream. That has been
You're welcome
a bit
to
of a
FF
long
anytime
one.
you pick Ash or MF
Okay,
support role.
Cam just is a hater.
Fountain of salt, man. All right, we can start it up, Cam. Let's go.
Wait, could I play?
We're playing ranked. We're trying to get my boy back to G1, bro.
First.